Hey, this is Antonio Mero with Team IRG.
And I'm Dustin Arndt with Frontier Mortgage.
And we are your one-stop shop
for all your real estate needs.
Now today we're going to be talking about documents and the reason of why they're so important. Now some of you have maybe gone through the home buying process and remember the pre-approval process. Now during this time, this is when the lender is going to ask you for some documents up front. As some of you remember, it can be a little annoying gathering these docs. But today we're going to talk about the importance of why we need these docs. Now on my end as a realtor, we don't want to go out and look at houses and then you end up falling in love with the home, and then we go to the bank and the bank tells us you can't even qualify for that home. So that's why it's important to meet with your lender first. And Dustin is going to talk about that process a little bit more.
Thanks, Antonio. Yes, it is super important to meet with the lender up front, and not just meet with the lender and hear what they have to say. It is important to pick the right lender that requests your documentation up front, okay? You've all heard the horror stories about people getting to closing and then they're denied. That is because your documents were not provided to a lender up front. Every person's income type, asset situation, credit situation, overall situation are always different. Not everybody fits into the same cookie cutter mold that your neighbor might or your best friend might have. You may have heard your friend qualified for conventional and they had 700 credit scores and you have 700 credit scores, but you may not have the credit history to go conventional or the income to qualify for conventional. So it is super important to provide those documents in a timely manner up front. Try not to take a week or two. I understand it takes time to gather some of it. However, it takes 20 to 30 minutes usually to get those things gathered up and sent over to myself so that I can review them. I do not want you going to a home, looking at that home, falling in love with that home, not qualifying for that home, and then now you've set yourself up for failure because now every other home is going to be compared to that home, okay? So that is why it's so important and time sensitive to get with the lender up front, provide the documentation they request as quickly as possible up front, so you have 100% solid approval to go purchase your new home with Antonio.
Now, don't forget to like and follow our page because we are your one-stop shop
for all your real estate needs.